Satya Nadella said something last Sunday that 28 million people saw. But honestly, almost nobody in India connected the dots. So let me do exactly that for you today.
28 million people saw his post on X. But the knowledge workers sitting in offices across Bangalore, Mumbai, and Delhi, they entirely missed the fact that he was talking directly about them. I mean, they are exactly the ones in the crosshairs right now.
He wrote, and I'm quoting directly here, "There is no societal permission for an AI future that hollows out entire industries." Let that sink in. This is the COO of Microsoft, the man spending 15,000 crore rupees on AI this year alone, and even he's scared of what happens next.
Now, here's what he actually meant by that. He compared AI to globalization, specifically to what happened in the 1990s when outsourcing hollowed out manufacturing economies. We're talking entire industries, entire cities, just gone. And it wasn't because the workers failed, but because the economic logic of their work changed overnight. Nadella is saying AI is going to do the exact same thing, but this time it's coming for knowledge workers.
And here is why this hits India differently than literally anywhere else in the world. See, India skipped industrialization. We went directly from agriculture straight to knowledge work. IT services, finance, legal, consulting, BPO, the IIT graduate writing code, the CA doing financial analysis, the MBA running operations, the HR manager processing joining formalities. That entire economic ladder, the exact one that crores of Indian families climbed over the last 30 years, is built on the exact work AI is now automating.
And it's doing it faster, it's doing it cheaper, without a salary, without a leave application. So make no mistake, Nadella isn't warning America here, he is warning us.
Okay, moving into Section 1. 3 core AI threats. Decoding Nadella's warning.
Let's look at what his essay actually argued beyond just the headline, because he made 3 very specific points that completely define the future of corporate survival. We're looking at knowledge commoditization, token capital, and your real competitive advantage.
All right, the first massive risk is knowledge commoditization. Right now, your company has institutional knowledge, right? Like how you structure a deal, manage a vendor, or resolve a really complex client dispute. That knowledge lives in your people and your documents. But AI models are absorbing this kind of data at an absolute massive scale across thousands of companies. Once that knowledge is inside the model, any competitor can just buy that intelligence as a cheap commodity for the price of a simple API call. 20 years of institutional advantage? Literally wiped out overnight.
Second, Nadella points out that survival requires deliberate action, specifically combining human capital with what he calls token capital. Basically, token capital means building your own proprietary AI capability. Not just pulling up ChatGPT, but building systems that learn specifically from your unique workflows and your data. Companies that do this, they build a lasting moat. Companies that just rent access to public AI models, they don't have a moat. They are just paying a monthly subscription to slowly become irrelevant.
And this brings us to his third point, which is actually incredibly empowering if you act on it. Your ultimate competitive advantage isn't the AI model you choose. Having access to Claude, Gemini, or Copilot, that's not your advantage. Your advantage is having people who know how to work with these tools better than anyone else. It's the people who can actually encode your company's unique institutional knowledge into these systems.
Section 2. Am I safe? Job titles versus daily tasks.
So what do you actually do with all this? Well, first things first, stop thinking about your job title. Start thinking about your tasks. The question is not, am I an analyst or a manager? The real question is, how much of what I do today can an AI agent do tomorrow? If your day involves taking data from one place and formatting it somewhere else, that is automatable today. If your day involves reading contracts and flagging standard clauses, AI is already doing that. If your day involves writing reports from data someone else gives you, Claude does that in 4 seconds. But if your day involves reading a room, building trust, making judgment calls with incomplete information, you have much more runway. You need to be brutally honest with yourself about which list your tasks fall into.
Section 3. Corporate strategy. The expensive training mistake.
Second, if you are a CHRO or an L&D head watching this explainer, listen up, because training everyone equally is the absolute most expensive mistake you can make right now. Look at this breakdown. Not everyone in your company is equally at risk. Your finance team processing manual invoices, they are at immediate high risk. But your senior relationship managers, they have a much longer runway.
What you need before you train a single person is to know exactly who is actually exposed and how urgently. You need to map every function against displacement risk, score every role on how automatable the core tasks are, and then train the people who need it most with extreme urgency, not everyone equally with a blanket budget. Let me tell you, that right there is the difference between a company that survives this and a company that wakes up in 2027 wondering what happened.
Because the reality on the ground across Indian enterprises from IT to consulting is that the awareness gap is staggering. Leadership reads the headlines, sure, but at the functional level, people still kind of believe this is someone else's problem. But here's the thing. The hollowing does not announce itself with a loud crash. It happens quietly. One automated workflow at a time, one AI agent at a time, one headcount freeze at a time. And by the time you finally notice the org chart has completely changed, it will be far too late to respond.
Nadella saw it coming. He said it publicly, with his name on it. The real question is, what will you do with the warning?
If you want to know where your organization stands, we have a free workforce AI risk tool over at AIskill.com. It takes 2 minutes, you get your functions exposure score, and it's totally free. The link is in the description. Share this explainer with one person in your company who needs to hear this today, not to scare them, to prepare them, because the economic system is moving on. So, will you adapt or will you be hollowed out?